is going to be met hard and met fast by number 31 of that defense, Daryl Green, a name that I have said again and again tonight. Daryl Green making a huge tackle.
Welcome to 24 Hour Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're just going to talk about a couple of things I've seen in NFL Week 10. You know, I don't really like to get into games without having the film there, without being able to show everybody just exactly what's going on. But let's talk about some things. 3 games I want to talk about. 3. I want to talk about Seattle versus Tampa. I want to talk about Minnesota versus Buffalo. And I want to talk about Dallas versus Green Bay. Those are the 3 games I want to talk about because I think they really shifted things in their respective conferences in the NFL. First game of the year, Minnesota Vikings versus Buffalo Bills. First off, I want to say when the game was going on, I knew something. Sean McDermott has just made some decisions that's left me wondering. I like the Bills. Like I said, roster from top to bottom. I like all of that. I like the Bills, but Josh Allen and Sean McDermott, you know, sometimes Josh Allen, he really presses. Sometimes he throws that aren't good. He throws that aren't there. But he trusts his arm so much, he tries to force things in there, and that'll really bite you, especially in a tight game. But I said, Sean McDermott, kick the field goal, trust your defense. I understand the secondary's banged up, Kyer Elam out, Tre'Davious White out, but that gives you a 17-30 lead in the fourth quarter. I would have been confident with that. I would have been just fine with that. And, you know, I talked with some people. They said the offense was flowing. They would have went for it on fourth down as well. But that's just like, no. I understand the flow of the game, but your defense was playing decent. You were playing decent. Then you let Dalvin Cook break off the big run. And then it all fell apart. Adam Thielen, Hawkinson, Jefferson, all of those guys started to eat. But I would have kicked the field goal up 17-27, give me a 17-30 lead, and go from there. Because now, what's really important, what you really could have keyed in on, is when Josh Allen threw that pick, the Vikings went down and scored. Then they scored again. So think about it. They would have had a tie game. The Bills wouldn't have had to go down and get it. If they would have went down and gotten that field goal with 30 points, they would have won the game. They could have got a game-winning field goal. But instead, you get yourself into overtime because you went for it on fourth down. And they go for it on fourth down a lot. And in certain situations, I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go for fourth down in some of the situations they did. So it's just certain situations I question. But they lost that game. Looking from the Vikings' perspective, I think T.J. Hawkinson was a key addition. Dalvin Cook is still Dalvin Cook. Justin Jefferson is really emerging as the best receiver in the game. That catch, I think that catch was better than Odell's. And I look at the situation. I look at where things matter. You know, 4th to 18, you don't catch this ball, we losing the game, we going home. We going back to Minnesota, you don't catch that ball. So that's what I'm looking at. Odell caught the ball. It wasn't a big moment in the game. They lost the game. So impact really sides with me. It really resides with me. But I want to get into Dallas versus Green Bay. Dallas. Another team who could have kicked the field goal. Go for it on fourth. I don't know what's really, determining these decisions. It might be analytics. Coaches may like the plays they have called, may like that in the flow of the game. But I like those field goals. If I got a good defense, I trust that defense. I like those field goals. And I really just wish they would have kicked the field goal, but they didn't. They didn't get it on fourth down. Packers go score. Christian Watson had an unbelievable game. A guy who's been struggling to stay healthy, struggling with drops, had an unbelievable game. I like what I've seen out of him. It's going to be interesting to see him and Dobbs. That's going to be an interesting duo. This is a team that still has a talented roster. And if they can keep running the ball, these receivers keep developing. We all know, when you have rookie receivers, young receiving core, it's not going to be there early. Playing receiver and matching up with the quarterback, it's all about timing. It's all about trust. And guys, going to the other side of the ball, Dak and CD, it's just not, I don't know, it's not clicking. CD had a big game, but the picks, The picks. CD and Dak are disconnecting on some plays that are resulting in picks. We seen this against the Bears. We seen it last night. And they went to Dalton Schultz. They were talking to him on the sideline because he had a clear out route. But if you have a clear out route, either you have to go. You have to go because you're clearing out and a guy's coming behind you. So if you don't clear out fast enough, then their safety can make a play on the ball because you're in the way. A clear out route is to do exactly that. Clear out. He just didn't get far enough upfield. And then Dak is throwing that ball. He's throwing that ball because he's betting on the fact that Schultz is going to clear that out. CD's going to get there. He's going to be open, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen like that. And then Dak threw another crucial pick, and it's just, it's bad. It's bad. And I think the biggest part about it, Michael Parsons, you're playing with the lead, but Michael Parsons isn't playing on the ball. Like I said, I told everybody in my video against the Cowboys, I told everybody, if Micah can play off the ball when you need him to stop the run. And I understand linebacker depth, you got young guys, you got Clark, and you're trying to get that, you're trying to work that in. But still, Micah has to play on the ball in that situation. You got the lead, so they're going to have to pass. And he could have made a difference on some pressures. He could have made a difference. I don't know if he's hurt. I seen him go to the sideline. I don't know if he's hurt or, battling an injury, but he came back in the game. So that's why I'm not sure what's going on exactly with Michael, but I would have put him on the ball in some of those situations. That's what I would have done. He played off the ball a lot. I seen it against the Bears, and I know they're seeing the same thing I saw because when he was off the ball, he was special. But, like I say, pick your poison. You get that, you're giving up the pass rush. And those other guys, they just can't generate. They have to generate the pass rush, but you're not going to get the same production you will get if Micah is rushing the passer. You're just not. Doesn't matter who it is. There's very few guys in the league that can do what Micah does. So that's just what I feel about that. And they gave that game away. Like I said, Dak with the picks. It's turning the ball over. You don't turn the ball over, you win that game. It's simple as that. Like I said, Mike McCarthy, you should have kicked the field goal. Then you went for it on fourth down in overtime. It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. I would have trusted my defense. You have a good defense. Christian Watson got off. Aaron Jones, Dylan, they did their thing in the backfield, but still, you got to trust your defense. You can't go to Philadelphia. You can't go to San Francisco playing like that. You just can't. If you get a lead like you had, you can't blow that. There's no way that they absolutely should have lost that game. Going into my last game, Seattle versus Tampa Bay. I like things that I seen out of Seattle. I like things that I seen out of Tampa Bay. But if Tampa Bay is going to run the ball with Leonard Fournette like they did every game, then they'll be good. The problem is they haven't been able to run the ball. When they won the Super Bowl, they could have run the ball. What is play action? What is Tom Brady's best asset? Play action in a run game. Look at the Patriots teams. They kill you with play action. And it just hasn't been able to be as successful because there was no threat of the run game prior to this game. But they came back with a run game. Leonard Fournette had an exceptional game. I like what I seen. Tom Brady, accurate, timing, but it's not been that. The problem has been that he's had to drop back 40 times every game. And that's the problem because when you're doing it and you have the style of play like Tom Brady, you take 5 here, take 10 there, maybe go for 15 or 20 every so often, it gets predictable. And then those zones, they get tighter and tighter and tighter. Man coverage, it gets closer and closer and closer. So that's what it is. But when you run the ball, now you can switch things up. Now you can make the defense play how you want them to play. They don't throw out their best shot because they're worrying about the run. They're not just getting back on guys. And that's really what I saw. That was my takeaway. But I still saw things that I was worried about. I seen the Seattle Seahawks almost come back and win that game. I seen that, and that worried me because you have the lead on these guys. You have to keep that lead. You have to. Geno Smith, he still played pretty well, but you can't get behind like that. And the Buccaneers defense, it was exceptional in the first half. It was exceptional. I seen Geno Smith. I don't think the Seahawks are bad, but The Buccaneers just came out there with a perfect first half game plan, and they did what they had to do. Devin White, playing with the heavy heart, still coming out there, playing good, getting better. That defense starting to look like they did when they went on those Super Bowl runs. So I like what I seen out of that game. My Steelers got a dub. We're the best team in the NFL. But other than that, it was some good things. Justin Fields, another good game. They really got to put pieces around Justin Fields, man. I don't want to see it go bad. I don't, because this is what we're seeing. Like I said, Justin Fields, I compare him to Jalen Hurts, early Jalen Hurts, and I see it. I see the same things, but look at the team that Jalen Hurts has. He has an offensive line. He has a great defense to give him the ball. He has great receivers. He has a number one receiver. You should be looking at how they built that team. You should be looking at some of the plays they call. Try to mirror some of that. Try to mirror some of that and get it going with Justin Fields, because that's an absolute talent. And it's just not going good right now. But he's still in year 2. Still developing. You still got time. But I don't trust the Bears front office. I don't. I seen you trade Roquan Smith. I seen you draft bad draft picks again and again and again. And I don't know what to say about that.